Hello and welcome to today's episode of Dream Business, Dream Life. Today we're going to dive into a topic that may well ruffle a few feathers because you didn't start your business because you wanted a boss, right? And yet, if you're totally honest, sometimes it feels like you've ended up with the worst boss you've ever had. And by that, you are right, I mean you. So, in this episode, we're going to talk about what it really means to step up and be the boss of your business in a way that feels aligned, empowering, and supportive. Because if you don't become the boss, your business is going to happily boss you around. And that's not why you started this. If you don't become the boss, you'll constantly be firefighting and your income is going to plateau. So, let's set the scene. Right now, you're making money, but keeping it consistent is a battle, and growing it is feeling like an impossible mission. You hustle, you do all of the things, and by the end of the month, you're exhausted and feel like the money you have earned is way less than it should be, way less than you're capable of earning. Maybe you've invested in courses, coaching, programs. You've got folders of stuff you've tried. And still nothing feels like it's properly clicking into place. You've got offers, but those offers don't feel scalable. You've got a business, but behind the scenes, it is messy, it is chaotic. You've got a to-do list that never ends. And the reality is, you're too busy doing the do to actually stop and think about how you could do things differently. I see this all of the time. One of my clients, let's call her Sarah, came to me earning around £5,000 a month. Now, on paper, that looked great, but she was working evenings, weekends, and she was constantly chasing her next client. I recall one of the very early conversations that we had. It went something along the lines of, Emma, I feel like I've just swapped one bad boss for another. And this time I'm the bad boss. And I know so many of you listening can relate to this. It's definitely not just you. I've been there too. When I built my first £1 million e-commerce business, I thought I was creating freedom for myself and my family. And what actually happened is that the business consumed me. I wasn't free. I wasn't aligned. I was working harder than ever, and it felt like the business owned me, not the other way around. I definitely wasn't the boss, despite, on paper, me being the CEO of that business. Does any of this sound familiar? Now, I want to share something with you today about being a boss. Being your own boss isn't about cracking the whip and forcing yourself to work harder. It's not about being relentless or critical. Being your own boss is about leadership. It's about stepping into the role of CEO in your business, the person who has the vision, the clarity, the authority. A boss sets the direction. Now, this means your vision comes first, your life comes first. What do you want your business to make possible for you and your family? Because your business is here to support that, not consume it. A business is run by a boss who makes decisions. No more waiting for permission, no more second guessing or searching for that perfect strategy. You already know your values. You already know what feels aligned. It's about making choices and backing yourself, having that belief in yourself. And a boss is going to build systems because without structure, you're always going to be in that firefighting mode. Systems aren't going to take away your freedom. Yes, they may take you a bit of time to set up, but once they are set up, they give you more freedom. They mean that you can step away from your laptop and know things are still moving forward. Let me tell you about another client of mine, and we're going to call her Jo. Jo had been stuck around £7,000 per month for ages. Every month, it was like she was starting over. She had so many ideas, so many offers, and she was spreading herself way too thin. When we worked together, the thing I asked her was, if you really were the boss of this business, what would stay and what would go? And the relief she felt when naming the things that she didn't want to do anymore was huge. She stripped back, she simplified, and within a few months, she wasn't just earning more money, she was working less and finally feeling like she was in charge. That's what being the boss is all about. So let me ask you a question. If you were truly being the boss of your business, how would things look different than they look today? And I want to take it a step further. I want to give you a really simple exercise that you can do. So, grab yourself a piece of paper and split it into 2 columns. At the top of one column, I want you to write employee. And at the top of the other column, I want you to write boss. In the first column, the employee column, I want you to write down all the ways you're currently behaving like an employee in your business. Maybe that's saying yes to every client, reacting to your inbox first thing in the morning, scrolling your social media the last thing at night, working late every night, doing busy work instead of strategic work. And then in the second column, where you've written boss, I want you to write down how boss you, CEO you, would handle those exact same things. Would boss you set clearer boundaries? Would boss you decide what's really worth your energy? Would boss you block time to think, not just do? Then here's the really important part. Once you've created this list, I want you to pick just one thing from the Boss Me column, and I want you to do it this week. Just one thing, not tackling the whole thing. I just want you to pick one thing, because becoming the boss isn't about changing everything overnight. It's about small, consistent shifts that add up to a completely different way of running your business. So this is what I want you to take away from today. You didn't want another boss when you started your business. You wanted freedom. You wanted choice. You wanted a life that felt good. And the way you get there is by becoming the best boss you've ever had. The boss who leads with clarity, who leads with alignment, with compassion, but also with courage. So if this landed with you today, I would love for you to share it with a friend who needs to hear it. And if you're ready to align your strategy, your offers and your systems so that your business feels as good on the inside as it looks on the outside, that's exactly the work I do with my clients. You don't have to wing it, and you don't have to do it alone. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, here's to building your dream business and your dream life. Go and be the boss that your business needs.